So for today's video, I actually wanted to share 10 benefits of the raw vegan lifestyle, but once I started writing, I couldn't stop. So I came up with 33 benefits and I could probably fill the entire book. And today I'm going to share these 33 benefits with you. And in the end of this video, I'm also going to share with you why, despite all of these amazing benefits, currently I still choose to not eat fully raw vegan. So I'm alternating between fully raw and raw till 4. Now, I will say that even if you incorporate some cooked foods here and there, you can experience all of these 33 benefits. But I personally, from my experience, have found that the less cooked food I eat and the more raw foods I incorporate into my diet, the better I feel and the more intensely I experience all these benefits. The first benefit is definitely hands down feeling energized after eating. Because when I think about food, I'm eating when I feel low energy, when I feel like I would like some fuel. And usually what ended up happening back in the days when I was still consuming cooked food is that I would eat a meal and then afterwards I would feel super tired and sluggish. Whereas now I just had a big meal of persimmons, bananas, and apples, and I feel ready to go. Like I could go out now and move my body. I feel like super hyped up for this video today, and it's just so amazing that after a meal you actually feel fueled up and you don't have the need to rest first, but you're ready to go. The second benefit is a mucus-free body and being able to breathe fresh air in freely. I really do notice a difference when I incorporate more cooked foods. I just feel like it is a little bit more clogged up, whereas if I eat a lot of raw foods, then when I breathe in fresh oxygen, I feel like it is really going through properly and filling my lungs up with a lot of fresh air. The third benefit is incredibly delicious, simple meals. Like even just sitting down to a simple meal of persimmons or mangoes or papaya or melon, it is just so delicious and you literally just have to cut open the fruit. And yes, you do need a little bit of a skill on how to pick good fruits, and you obviously need to be in the right season and in the right climate. But even now in the winter time, I really enjoy a big banana smoothie with some ripe bananas and some frozen berries. It's super simple, super easy, and just so delicious. And that also brings me to benefit number 4, and that is really having very little amount to prep. I definitely find myself spending a lot less time in the kitchen when I eat fully raw, whereas if I incorporate some cooked foods, I usually always cook them myself because I want them to be super clean, free from salt and oil. So it does take a little bit more time than just cutting open some fruit, making a quick salad with a salad dressing, or preparing a smoothie. And also benefit number 5 is having very little to clean. So when I just eat a monomeal of fruit and I just cut it open, all I need to clean is the knife and the plate or the chopping board that I ate it on. And if I have a smoothie, it's still also really, really little, and especially very easy to clean because you can literally just rinse it with water. There's no need for any detergent to clean the utensils because the water gets it clean if you clean it right after eating, which I usually do unless I'm super lazy. And then benefit number 6 is same as you need very little cleaning for the utensils, you also need very little cleaning for your body. Even though I rarely do it, I could theoretically go for many, many days without a shower just because I feel like my body smells less, and I also don't use any deodorant or any soap to clean my body because if I just use water, it gets the job done. And that also brings me to benefit number 7, and that is less body scent. Even though I don't use deodorant and I don't use soap, people often tell me I smell like trees. That is something I've heard a couple of times. And your body just smells very good from the inside because the food you eat digests very quickly. So there's nothing in your body that's rotting away. And then benefit number 8 is having really smooth and soft skin. So when I was a child, I actually used to struggle with eczema on my hands. So I had extremely dry hands. Sometimes they would even pop open and blood would come out of them because they were so freaking dry. And I used to have it quite for a long time. And that is a symptom of, my body has been a little bit dehydrated back then. That's why my body used to have these symptoms. So now that my body is more hydrated because I'm eating high water content foods, my skin on my hands is super soft. Even in the wintertime, it sometimes gets a little bit dry, but nothing compared to what it used to be. And also just in the face and everywhere else, it's just very soft, even though I don't use any moisturizer or anything like that. Benefit number 9 is also that my cellulite disappeared. So when I was 18, I started experiencing like cellulite on my legs. And I always was thinking like, this is not natural. Like, I'm so young. How can I already be experiencing this? And the reason was because back then I was consuming quite a lot of processed foods, animal products, dry, fiberless foods. And then once I started switching to plant-based and high carb and high fruit and started to getting in all that like high water content food, the cellulite started to disappear. I will say it took a little bit of time, but yeah, eventually it disappeared and I'm very grateful for that. Number 10 is that my sleep quality improved a lot, and I also feel like I need less sleep, especially now in the winter time. I definitely feel like it's a big advantage to have like good sleep quality, because back in the days I used to always feel tired around the winter time, and I still sometimes do feel a little bit more sluggish than in the summer, but again, it is nothing compared to what it used to be back in the days when I would still consume animal products and just a lot of processed foods. So it definitely helps to lighten up your digestive load. And then benefit number 11, I can't really show it with my fingers anymore, but this one, I'm sure everyone who has been, even just for a couple of days, eating a raw vegan lifestyle can relate, that you just have effortless, flawless, easy bowel movements. Like, I can't even imagine going through the bowel movements I used to have back in the days anymore. It was definitely kind of a drag, so I'm very grateful. And they're also very regular, so at least 1 or 2 times a day, if not more. So that's also very nice, because that also helps with having a flat belly, because there's no accumulated food waste down there. So that's definitely also really, really cool. And then benefit number 12 is just being more hydrated, which leads to mental clarity. I really feel like I can focus for many, many hours without feeling like, oh my God, I need a break. Of course, I still do take breaks just because it feels good, but I feel like that brain muscle is so much stronger, because obviously our brain runs on glucose. So if we eat the carbs straight from the source, like glucose, then our body doesn't have to use any energy to convert. For example, if you were to eat like oil, and your body would have to use that as energy, it would first have to convert the oil into glucose and then give that to your brain, which is a lot of work in the process. So mental clarity, focus, it is just so high level. And then benefit number 13 is a more calm, joyful inner state. It is hard to describe, but yeah, I do feel more joyful and just more high vibe when I'm eating fully raw. But I definitely also want to say that even if I don't, I still like feel pretty good emotionally when I just generally eat very, very clean, without any processed foods and without a big amount of fat in my diet. And that also leads me to benefit number 14, and that is just generally more spiritual connection. So I feel like when I meditate, I'm again more calm inside my body, and that allows me to access a deeper flow state. So again, I find it very hard to describe this, but if you have been trying this lifestyle for a couple of days in a row, you might know what I'm talking about. It is just, yeah, you just feel more connected. Like, yeah, I can't describe it in any other way. And benefit number 15 is something that probably might surprise some people, but I find it way easier to eat healthy when I'm traveling. You can always find a supermarket, a fruit stand, or a farmer's market where you can get some fruit, and you just have to bring a knife and a spoon, and then you're good to go. And then generally also I find that traveling becomes more effortless and more easy because, again, you don't need to wash your clothes that often. You don't need to wash your body as often. Of course, like, I still prefer to have, a shower every other day. But if I'm not going to be able to do that because I'm somewhere out camping or something, it's not a big deal because I know that my body doesn't really smell. And then also, you don't have to bring that much stuff because I don't need any shampoo. I don't need any toothpaste. All I really need is my toothbrush and my tongue scraper and something to brush my hair. So it's just very effortless and more like light and easeful to travel. And then benefit number 16 is being able to eat abundantly and eat big portions. Now, this is generally a benefit that I've just found in the high carb lifestyle. Being able to eat big bowls of fruit and big bowls of, carbs, whatever carbs you enjoy eating, is just a really, really nice treat and just a big pleasure. And then benefit number 17 is being able to also have a slim physique and a lean body while also eating a lot. So back in the days, I used to always equate being slim with under-eating, starving, feeling hungry. Whereas when I came to this lifestyle, I realized, wow, this is a lifestyle of abundance. I can eat as much as my body needs, and I can even go a little bit beyond and still maintain a healthy, lean physique. So that is definitely also a nice advantage that I have found. And then number 18 is something I've already kind of alluded before, and that is just generally being high vibe, being in a good mood. And I just feel like there's less drama and less problems and unnecessary things and worries. So yeah. And then number 19 is improved vision and improved eyesight. Now, I haven't had this experience that much myself because I've always had pretty good vision. But I've heard from some people that their vision improved after incorporating more high water content foods and rehydrating their bodies. And then benefit number 20 is fluid movement and being able to run and do nice movements with much ease. Also, when it comes to yoga, I feel like my ankles, my joints are more hydrated, and that's why I don't really experience any knee pain, any problems in those areas. Even if sometimes I sit like cross-legged at my computer desk for, 3 or 4 hours, and I went out for a long run. That's definitely also something I really appreciate. 21 is that it is a lot easier to build strength if you want to, because recovery goes down a lot. So back in my teenage years, I used to go to the gym and I used to still eat a high protein diet, also with some animal products. And I definitely see a huge difference in how quickly my body recovers now after a workout. I rarely ever even get any muscle ache, even if I really, really exerted my body during a workout with heavy weights and stuff. It still doesn't get any of that, whereas back in the days, it will always get that. So the body back in the days used to, when I still incorporated, animal products and that kind of stuff, it took a little bit more time for it to get back to like recovered state. And then benefit number 22 is having a smooth voice. So I rarely have this feeling of I need to like clear my throat, but it, again, because everything is more hydrated in the body, the vocal cords are more hydrated, I suppose. I don't know, I haven't researched this, but I just feel like my voice is more smooth. And then benefit number 23 is also something I've already kind of mentioned, but that mental clarity, that sharp, laser sharp focus, being able to focus for many hours, being able to absorb a lot of knowledge, that was definitely like big symptom for me back in the days. Like when I would go to school, I had such a hard time to focus for like more than 20 minutes, my brain would shut off. I couldn't remember anything the teacher would say. Also, when I was taking my driving license, that was a big struggle. That's where I realized, okay, Julia, something is wrong, because literally I had such a hard time to keep my focus on the traffic. Whereas now I feel I have a lot more mental clarity. It's very easy to focus for longer periods of time and to not get distracted so much. So that's also a big benefit for me. And then number 24 is less risk for injury. Again, because of what I mentioned before, the ankles, the joints are more hydrated. Also, the reaction time is more quick. I feel like if I stumble somewhere, I can always feel myself reacting very, very quickly to it, and not being so much in my head, but being more like present in the here and now. So I do feel like the risk for injuries and that kind of stuff just goes down a little bit. And then 25 is the life quality just goes up because of everything that I just mentioned and everything I'm about to mention. We're coming close to the end. Number 27 is that I need to wash my clothes less often because they just don't stink. Number 28 is increased flexibility and mobility. This was something that became very apparent to me when I did my yoga teacher training. That's where I was eating fully raw vegan at that time. And I could just see how incredibly quickly my flexibility went up and improved. Obviously, we were doing yoga 3 hours a day back then, but still, I could just notice a very, very clear difference to when I was practicing yoga before going raw, and also in comparison to the other people who attended the teacher training. Number 29 is that you generally need less packaging. So when we eat a lot of processed food, it usually comes in a lot of packages and plastic bags and cans and all that stuff. And obviously I still use plastic. I'm not plastic free because sometimes the fruit that I really, really want is unfortunately packaged in plastic, and then I'll still buy it. Just generally though, I do feel like I use less, like I'm throwing out less trash, even though I don't really have much to compare to. But if I wanted to, I could easily go 100% plastic free and just always go to the wholesaler, because there the fruit is just sold, and the vegetables as well, in like cartoon boxes. So it's very environmental friendly. We're coming close to the end. Benefit number 30 is that no animals are being hurt in the process. Obviously, you can also just go vegan and no animals are being hurt. But still, I do find like the high fruit, high raw vegan lifestyle is one of the lifestyles that makes you feel so good that you're not even thinking about going back to animal products. And I don't know, there might have been different reasons for it, but when I was junk food vegan, it might just be because it was in the very beginning, but I was sometimes thinking about going back to animal products and had a lot of cravings for that kind of stuff. So I don't know. So for me, that is still definitely a benefit that no animals are being hurt. Also, the environment is not being hurt. Trees are literally so amazing for the environment, like fruit trees. Also, they need less space on our planet compared to like crops of grains and legumes and those kinds of foods. Benefit number 31 is thicker hair. So I definitely generally noticed that the health of my hair just went up when I started eating more fresh, vibrant living foods. Benefit number 32 is clear, glowing skin. So I rarely ever have any breakouts in my face, and that definitely also feels really, really nice. The only times I will mention when I get a little bit of breakouts is around my cycle. So that still happens, but again, it is very rare. And the status quo is that my skin is very soft and smooth and clear. So that's definitely also very nice. And then the last 33, we're coming to the end, is just a radiant, vibrant, good functioning body. Now, I will mention that I'm no saint. I still experience symptoms sometimes. I still very, very rarely sometimes do get sick. I'm not a superhuman person. I will, however, mention that my health has vastly improved after starting to eat this way, after starting to nourish my body with lots of whole foods, with lots of fresh, raw, vibrant living foods, and lots of fruits that also just, make me feel good on so many levels, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And now, as promised, why am I still eating cooked foods if there are all these amazing benefits when I eat raw foods? And the reason is simply because I can still experience a majority of these benefits while still incorporating some cooked foods here and there. I will say it is definitely a compromise, and I feel my absolute best eating fully raw and just focusing on the fruit and on the simple meals. And still, for me, I have found that putting that label of fully raw and just eating raw vegan on myself has put me under pressure, and that pressure often led to me overeating, led to me, if I then chose some cooked foods, feeling really, really guilty and beating myself up. And I've just found a lot of peace within of knowing, hey, this door to cooked food, it is open. It is okay for me to go through if I want to. I know what I can experience if I eat fully raw. I know that it is a compromise, but I feel much freer. And it might be that in 1 year I change my mind and I'm fully raw again. Might be, might not be. I definitely will always recommend people who first come to this lifestyle to experiment, with going fully raw, maybe for a couple of days to see the amazing benefits, but to then be flexible and to transition step by step. Because especially in the beginning, there are so many things you need to learn, like how do I find good produce? How do I work on my money mindset? Because you first spend a little bit more on fruits and vegetables. Of course, you save in so many other areas. That's actually a benefit I could also add. You save money in so many other areas and also so much time. Like I rarely, other than for checkups, go to the doctor. And so you just save a lot of time and energy, and that is being freed up in your life to be spent in other areas. So I guess all in all, I just still enjoy my cooked food every now and then. And I've mentioned this in one of my previous videos. And the thing is, if you choose to be flexible, you can still have fully raw days. Like no one says, okay, just because you choose to incorporate cooked foods, you cannot have any fully raw days. You can still do that. And you can still enjoy a lot of these benefits to a very large extent. For me, my backbone nowadays is always vegan. I'm not going to go back to animal products. That is a door that is so closed for me. It won't ever open again. And I recently have also started closing some more doors when it comes to processed stuff. And I'm more and more coming to a place where it's just a super clean cuisine that keeps me lean. And if you want to learn how I lost a ton of weight eating this way, then check out this video.